Welcome back to the Legacy Project podcast, where we believe that life's toughest moments often become the foundation for its most lasting wisdom. I'm your host, Don Fessenden, and I'm joined once again by our wonderful intern and co-host, Harper. Welcome back, Harper.
Thanks, Don. I'm really glad to be here. Every time we do one of these episodes, I feel like I walk away with something new to think about.
That's the heart of this project, isn't it? And today's conversation is one that touches everyone, because no life story is free of struggle. Today we're talking about finding meaning in moments of adversity, how to reflect on your hardest experiences and turn them into lessons, growth, and legacy.
That's definitely something I've thought about. Sometimes when you're in a difficult season, it's hard to imagine there's any meaning to be found.
And that's completely normal. That's why it's so important we talk about how to approach it. Ready to dive in?
Absolutely.
Let's start with this. Adversity alone doesn't shape your legacy. What you do with it does. When you reflect on hardship with the intention of learning, you create meaning. And meaning helps us heal, grow, and guide others. Harper, let me ask, have you ever had a moment where you only understood its importance much later?
Oh, definitely. There were times in school when I struggled with feeling like I didn't belong. Back then, it just felt painful. But now I realize it taught me a lot about empathy and noticing when others feel left out.
Exactly. And that's a perfect example. Meaning isn't always visible in the moment. Sometimes it's something we only recognize after reflection. That's why writing your story can be such a powerful tool for uncovering meaning. When you're ready to write about adversity, start by asking yourself, what happened? How did I feel then? How do I see it now? What did I gain from going through it? Strength, perspective, values. And Harper, one thing I always tell storytellers is, you don't have to make the adversity sound noble or polished. Just honest.
I love that, because I think sometimes we feel like we have to turn every struggle into a big inspirational story. And sometimes it's enough to just say, this was hard, and I survived.
Exactly. Survival itself can be the meaning. And sometimes, meaning shows up in smaller ways, a deepened sense of compassion, a new boundary, a clearer sense of what matters. It's important when writing about adversity not to skip straight to the lesson. Let the struggle have its space on the page. Describe the uncertainty, the fear, the doubt, the grit it took to face it. Harper, what would you say to someone who's afraid to put that rawness into their story?
I'd probably say, you're not alone in feeling that way. But when I read stories, it's the honest parts that stick with me, not just the triumph at the end.
That's exactly right. Vulnerability builds trust with your reader, and it makes your eventual reflection feel earned. When we reflect on adversity and find meaning, we do more than heal. We pass down resilience. We show future generations that hardship is part of life, and that strength can come from it. One storyteller I worked with wrote about losing her first business. It was devastating at the time, but writing about it years later, she saw that it taught her resourcefulness, humility, and perseverance. Now, her story helps her grandchildren understand that failure isn't the end.
I think that's so powerful because life is full of ups and downs. Knowing that someone else faced adversity and kept going, it gives permission to do the same.
Exactly. And that's legacy in action. As we close today's episode, I want to encourage you. Think of one difficult moment in your life, big or small, and ask yourself, what might this experience have taught me? What meaning might I still be uncovering? Write about it. Speak it aloud. Share it with someone you trust. Remember, your hardest moments are not a stain on your story. They're a chapter of courage. Harper, thank you again for being here today. Your insights always add so much.
Thank you, Don. I'm really grateful to be part of this project. I think today's conversation will help a lot of listeners feel less alone in their own struggles.
I hope so. And if you're looking for more support on how to write through adversity, you'll find guidance, prompts, and reflection tools in my book, The Legacy Project, a guide to sharing your story. This is the Legacy Project podcast. Keep writing, keep reflecting, And always, keep leaving your mark. We'll see you next time.